Jeffrey Grubb, Games Beat. This time we are reviewing the 8BitDo NES30 Classic Controller and its classic in the Classic Controller set for playing games wirelessly on the NES Classic Edition. Here is the box for that. Oh hell, the light is very bright. Let me see if I can adjust that at all. Oh no, that's just, this is the way it is. It's $40 because it comes with both with the controller and a wireless dongle that plugs into the NES Classic controller port. It has that same adapter that you get on the bottom of a Wii remote. So with this, you can plug it into your NES Classic and connect this wirelessly. It's super simple. It's available now. It's shipping from 8bitdo.com, which is just 8bitdo.com, or you can get it on Amazon. And you want the whole set because you need the dongle and you need the controller. And I'm going to jump into what I like about this set. $40 is a bit expensive, but I do think that this is an excellent solution to the NES Classic Editions. I just dropped this thing. The NES Classic Edition's biggest problem, and that is its very short cable for its for the controller that comes with it. It's about 30 inches long, 2.5 feet. It is it's a huge problem. You have to sit like right next to the system. You have to drag cables across your room, or you have to sit on the floor. And that's a bummer. I'm 33 years old. I got bad knees. I don't want to sit on the floor. I'm playing my games like I did when I was a kid. So this solves that by enabling you to connect this controller to your system. But this is not just, and I'm going to start with the receiver, because this is really the magic here. This is not just for the 8BitDo NES30 Classic Controller. This works with pretty much any Bluetooth controller. That means any of 8BitDo's other controllers, as well as gamepads like DualShock 4, DualShock 3, the Wii U Pro controller, the Wii Remote. You can connect any of those and use those as controllers thanks to this little gizmo right here. So this thing, it's basically just Bluetooth. It enables you to connect Bluetooth controllers to the NES Classic, something the NES Classic doesn't have built in, and something most of their dongles don't do because they don't have this connection there. But this thing doesn't just work on the NES Classic. It also works on your PC. It comes with a short little cable here. You plug it into the side, and there you go. You plug it in your PC, and then you could be playing games on there. Let's okay, we've done that. So now we are. So now I'm connected. If I hold down the start button here, it turns on. You can't really see it, but there's some. You know what? I'm gonna turn down my brightness a little bit. There we go. There's a blue light up here, and it's solid because it's connected. So now if I bring up a game, let's find a good game to play. I'm trying to start Tecmo Super Bowl. Okay, there we go. So now I can play this game wirelessly with a controller that feels a lot like an original NES controller. It's the same size. It's got a similar paint job, but it has more buttons. It has the Super Nintendo layout. So it has 2 shoulder buttons, 4 face buttons, and then start, select, and a D-pad. So that means it's great for both 8-bit and 16-bit classics. It's going to get the job done on your NES Classic Edition, but then if you do want to move on and use this with, other games, to play Super Nintendo games on your PC, or I booted up another Metroid 2 remake, and I used this to play it, and it worked perfectly. This can handle all of that as well. At the same time, you're getting this wireless solution for your NES Classic Edition and your PC retro gaming needs, while maintaining what feels like a retro nostalgic controller layout and feel and look. And I really like this controller specifically because the way it looks, but also it feels about right as well. You can see they are almost identical except for the button layout. But I'll say, and I'm dropping shit again, the wireless controller feels really good. It feels really close to that one. I would just point out that maybe the buttons don't feel quite as high quality as the old NES controller. And maybe the D-pad wobbles a little bit more. It doesn't have quite as an even resistance as Nintendo's original gamepad. But that's not to say that they're bad. This still works really well. And if I didn't have an NES controller right next to me to do the comparison, I wouldn't notice. It was just, this is a fine input device that gets the job done. It also has a decent battery life. You got to plug it in. You got to charge it with the micro USB right there on top. So when it's time to play, you want to make sure you have it charged. If you don't have it charged, I'm going to play Minnesota. If you don't have it charged, then it does act up, and it's not always easy to tell that it's because the battery's dying. You might still have the blue light, and the red light that says it needs to be charged might not come on yet, but you might still get interference. You might still get dropped signals, and you're gonna be like, what is going on? My controller's broken, or the game's messed up, or it's not responding. I'm gonna try to do this onside kick. Okay, it didn't work. But it's not going to be a huge issue because the controller does last for quite a while before the battery dies. Oh man, we're gonna destroy the Vikings. Sorry, now I'm just playing video games. Okay, let's wrap this up. Basically, it's a really good controller paired with a dongle that does way more than just work with this controller. Being able to use your DualShock 4 when you want to play like a game for a long time. Like, the NES Classic comes with Final Fantasy. It comes with The Legend of Zelda. These are games that could take a couple hours to play, and you might want to sit down and have a long session. The old NES controller, it's sharp, it's small, it can get uncomfortable after any extended duration using it. And having the option to switch to the DualShock 4 so you have something that's more comfortable, more ergonomic, built for adults' hands, that is an option that I think you're going to want to have if you are by any means going to be spending extended periods of time playing the NES Classic. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up. This is the NES30 8-Bitdo NES Classic Edition Set. I think that's what it is. Look it up on their site. It's $40. It's out now. It's shipping, and I recommend it. It works. It gets the job done. So that's it for me, Jeff Grubb. GamesBeat, GamesBeat.com for more. Find me on Twitter, Jeff Grubb, and then I'll see you in the next video, guys.